Having that point and click CC is going to be so powerful for 1xn to try and kite out, for Missing to try and protect that AD carry. But it's actually IG locking in the Mordekaiser in a bit of prio from Wei. He might see some early action.
Yeah, Wei recognizes this as well. Sheer knows that he can't step up for the trade, but choosing not to flash then, instead save it for a little bit later, costs Sheer his life. IG recognize weaknesses.
They've got the higher level members. Sobro with that level lead in terms of having solo experience versus 1xn finds himself in a very good position. And it is going to be that first dragon of the game. Really, you know, if he gets caught by a charm, he's going to probably take half his HP at this stage in the game, and that, you know, I'm looking at this from Bulldog's perspective. He could very easily try to leverage this lead and push moving all the way cross-country to make their impact felt in the mid lane. You can see that we are reaching 1xn.
We're flashing on him. We're final executioning 1xn. Once again gets the dash, but Photic shuts that down real quick with the piercing arrow. A double kill for Photic. And IG, they butter that bread once again. They see
stuff, and hopefully they can transition this into their priority around the Drake as well.
It's a small thing, but Kroko was forced to use Clone to get out over the wall, so doesn't have it engaged for just a second. Finally, gets the chance to whip it out just now. Cyclone gonna go down and actually help take out Jue. Wei trying to disengage on the right side, but Sobero stuck in the front lines. Does leave IG a little bit scattered over the wall. Photic gonna try and join the fight, but immediately gets knocked up by the Scion, and it is 1xn free firing in the backline as Sheer stands in front of him. Flashing on top of Wei to try and finish off this Ambessa. He will do so. Sheer's HP is running low, though, and 1xn dancing behind the dragon is finally going to commit to Photic. Does not grab him as the piercing arrow takes him down. Sheer is finally out, but it is IG that have won the fight, dancing and diving around LNG.
And they came into this fight with a gold lead here. They come away with a bigger one and another dragon to boot, putting them at soul point for this infernal dragon very early on
in the mid lane.
Photic's doing an incredible job here at just poking away at the health bars. You can see Missing is going to spellbook TP back in, but 6k on that Atakan. We're going to need to get in there nice and quickly here, LNG.
Like now, Bulldog does land the initial charm on Renard, but Photic manages to claim the Otacon, and it's a game of disengaging for IG. They leave Sobero all on his own in the middle of LNG, but that's a happy sacrifice. You lose Renard and Sobero, you get the Otacon. IG, it's a trade, but they come out on top.
Yep, solo lane was falling, but I think that that's, again, to their benefit. Nobody from LNG can TP up to the top side, maybe try and claim that tier 1 gold. They will be able to claim the tier 1 turret down in the bot side, but again, really, in terms of consequences for IG, they will probably take this. We look at the gold, it's dead even, but we look at the petal count, it's 25 to 4.
Photic does have a lot of tools, especially with the ult that can keep him safe. Kroko gets found by Wei and Renard, not a whole lot of ways out with the Weaver's Wall, is going to flash away, keeping himself up at 25% HP, but that gives IG once again complete control of the bot side. Bulldog gets flashed on, and Sobero claims a kill so low in the top side.
Hey, guess what, dear? Dragon's spawning and they have no solo laner. Sobro has got teleport. Granted, he doesn't have ulti, but with Kroko getting forced to flash an ulti out, with him being so low on HP, this is just the Dragon Soul for Invictus Gaming. They, again, we talked about the fact that they need to push the pace. This is, you know, game ending almost, if you can find it. With the Atakan as well, they've got all the good stuff in their back pocket. Let's just see whether or not they can execute on that. As you can see, Dwayne, knowing that he's hooking into a Banshee's, absolutely no cares in the world, just trying to pop the spell shield. Does a good job with that.
1xn comes with the extra income. Both AD carries having hit their 3 item spikes as well, so 1xn could get a lot of work done here, especially with the tanky
from Missing.
front line.
As the Chain of Corruption goes down there, and Missing forced to use that Summoner spell to get out of dodge from a hook, from a seismic shove, and that's the window for Invictus Gaming that they were looking for. Completely starved of vision. The redemption has to go down to spot them out on it. And LNG doing a good job so far at just making sure that they know what's happening around the Baron, but actually nothing to stop it from going down.
IG got what they came for, and they actually answer with a teleport from Sobero here. So IG, not just wanting the summoner, but wanting to fight, especially now with the mid lane tower under threat. LNG trying to deny that right now, disengage from missing. Coming in nicely as mid lane tower does go down for LNG. Nice knockup lands onto Zhui, who goes low, hooks onto Bulldog, but hits the Banshees, getting taken down instantly. Charm gonna land, knock up onto Mordekaiser as well. Sobero goes golden for just a moment, and finally will go down. Public Execution misses onto Kroko as Wei is the next one to be knocked up and taken down. Bulldog relentlessly moving forward, as it is Photic and Renard left up against Sheer and 1X, and Photic confidently stepping into the mid lane. 1X is gonna flash on him, and sometimes you gotta flash on him, but it doesn't work out.
Sometimes that wasn't one of the times. Yes, actually, you know, great work. 1XN's got this Infinity Edge as well as that Mortal Reminder, which he took the pit stop for before finishing the IE. Hold on, mid lane.
Edge of Night getting crazy value. Zhui dies for it, but that's awesome for Photic. The question is whether the rest of IG will come out as well. Photic's finally rejoined them, about half HP.
Let's look at our timers here, dear. 5 seconds on the Elder as well. No support. Not the biggest tool, but certainly something that they can look to rally behind. LNG needs to dodge this poke from the Varus, and Photic going to do a great job if he can just whittle away at some of those health bars.
He's isolated. Kroko knocks him up. Charm lands, and the assassination from LNG goes as planned. Wei tries to answer onto 1XN, does not have the damage, and 1XN has certainly got the peel. Sobero's got no access either, gets charmed and shut down, and Bulldog, the monster that was growing in the side lane, plays a huge role in winning that fight for LNG and unlocks the Elder Dragon.
This is the power of experience here, dear, as IG are starting to crumble at the seams. They've had this lead the entire game, but all of a sudden one pick onto Zhui and the whole game falls apart as LNG are going to secure the Elder Dragon. Just that...
Yeah, it's just, unfortunately, we got to take at this point. And IG have already lost control of the game as we're thinking about in terms of their positioning, what objectives they can take. But in terms of the gold as well, the Baron just going to exacerbate that even further. At this point, we got a lot of items complete, but gold still means something in League of Legends. And right now, it's not in IG's favor.
Yeah, and again, it's... IG had to play perfectly throughout the end of this game to try and close it out. Unfortunately, that one misstep has definitely cost them quite greatly. And we talked about it through the first 10 minutes, Dia, that this composition for IG, it had a clock on it. And LNG are ringing the bell. They're saying time's up now. As you can see, Kroko blast coning into the base. This is all to allow Sobero to get a little bit of extra gold down on the bot side. He takes a tier 2 turret. They know they can't defend against the Elder, so let's get a little bit of gold where we can. It makes sense, but it's going to come at a mammoth cost. And in the mid lane, Renard's actually just died to the Ahri off screen, so Bulldog finding another great pick with that Elder, and maybe in a 5 versus 4, they can just end the game.
Chains of Corruption are going to do net nothing. Sobero does go golden to dodge the Scion train, but it's going to get knocked up immediately afterwards. Stuck in the front lines with Elder Dragon. The promised Public Execution comes in from Wei, executing 1XN, and into the Elder Dragon. IG are turning things around. Sheer on his last legs now has Wei chasing him down. This Ambessa completely changing the game for IG. Bulldog is alive, but IG win that fight.
Yeah, do you remember when we... For him to get back out onto the map in time. Second TP expended. This is missing Spellbook, as Sheer going to have to cone his way over. It's a lot of dancing around this Elder with Inhibitor down in the top side. IG a little bit on the clock here because Super Minions can start to rally through their base.
Renard just showed top side, but is teleporting down to the bot. He's got a flank that is spotted from LNG, but Elder Dragon is going lower and lower. Wei's right next to it, ready for the 50-50 smite. Missing does get blown up immediately, but Wei's still laser focused on the Elder Dragon. Bulldog's poking.
Kroko's down.
2,000, 1,000, and the secure from Wei gives the Elder Dragon and the fight to IG.
And that's just going to be a clean sweep here, dear. They don't have waves other than that beautiful one in the mid lane. That's game 1, signed, sealed, and delivered. Invictus Gaming. Game number 1 picked up for IG. I mean, the sad thing about the game ending in these positions is we don't get left to fend for himself. Again, we talked about the fact that tank shred is going to need to be important for both of these two teams. They've both completely ignored me, and that probably means that they're just going to start to ignore the tanks as well. Out on the Ice Q, which... Means that Renard gets to live, gets to save his summoner spell as well. Now a little scrap over the jungle. Supports are here too.
Seems like a misposition, however. Mid laners have just backed off. Way's going to half HP. Bulldog commits as a teleport comes in, and Bulldog gets taken down by Photic for first blood. IG take a fight with a numbers disadvantage, but the early roam from Photic turns it all around. A kill goes Way's way, and 1XN gets out over the wall, not with the arcane shift. It's fantastic, because Renard, as you mentioned, blind picked the Syndra, but right now, what it's turning into is free lane pressure. What that's turning into is a free dragon for IG.
And they'll be happy with that, right? He uses the ulti.
Turn it into even more objectives. Going for the grubs now. Photic's already here. No answering AD carry in the form of 1XN to join, but Bulldog's on the way. You got to play this very carefully. Stun going to land onto Photic.
Oh,
he's half HP, and he is deleted. Grocko picks him up instantly with the supreme display of talent. 1XN has now arrived with Sobero on the front lines. We got a lot of tanks. A decent amount of damage. Sobero flashes forward, gets the heal. He turns it around, and IG clutch this fight back after losing their AD carry. They got all 3 Void Grubs and all 3 kills.
1,000 gold in game number 2. This is an organization that found themselves at Worlds not 2 years ago. And now, after 2025, they had a really rough time of things. Hold on.
Nice all out and perfectly lined up into the rest of LNG.
Well, I'm just going to carry on. That was clinical. That was really easy. But for LNG, they obviously found themselves with a 2025 to forget, lurking around Nirvana and not particularly having a great run of things. Now Bulldog should be fine on this bot side as he pops into the Shroud, and Renard not going to be able to find the lethal damage. But they're looking to make this 2026 far better than 2025, return to that previous level that they found back in 24, where they made it all the way to the world's stage. They're looking to take throughout the year, and we'll see whether or not a Demacia Cup win is their starting journey through this year.
Demacia Cup semifinals certainly seems to be looming in their future. Remember, Missing has no flash as he burned it getting rid of some vision earlier. He's seems to be doing just fine getting out. The headbutt pulverized combo into the ult from Photic does mean that Photic doesn't have a whole lot of damage to deal with. Bulldog, who's on top of him right now.
Oh, he lives!
Flash over the wall saves Photic, and IG win yet another full team fight, this time not even losing the AD.
Hold on the top side, expends your mid lane teleport, and now you're going to look to try and put it down in the mid lane. Tier 1 will fall. And it's going to be a trade.
Come on.
There we go. Bulldog did make it work, finally. And Tier 1 in the mid lane falls as a trade, so I think IG, again, very happy with this. I like the heads-up idea from LNG. They just weren't quite able to make it stick, and IG subduing them. Has got the only kills on this LNG squad. If he can find access to Renard, find access to Photic, hopefully the two of them together, maybe there's a world where you can win this fight. But I'm looking at the damage profile of LNG as well. They are triple AD with an Akali for magic damage, which is great. If you're the only magic damage on a team, usually you are loving life. But I'm looking at Way's build path, and I'm trying to count his MR points. He doesn't need to build any. He's built Merc Treads, which is maybe a little bit of Leona damage, or more so for the Leona CC than anything else. If Akali's focusing Malphite, she's focusing the wrong target, so he gets to build full armor this game. 1XN can't get through a Malphite in any swift time whatsoever, so Wade just gets to walk up T-pose on them and hope for the best.
On the Giga flank, instant solar flare comes down, and again we are trying to keep somebody from playing the game. This time it's Renard, all out onto Renard, does shut him down. The answering bullet time does do quite a bit of damage, but it doesn't seem to be enough as Photic completely unscared does still fall to the Cassante.
Yeah.
Missing gets chased down though, and the bullet time really turning things around for IG, who got engaged on, who lost both their carries, and still won the fight and take the dragon.
Hey man, you know, if I'm LNG, it's been very disastrous, and with 5 seconds on the Atacon, wouldn't be surprised to see them try and rip this. Is Photic going to get stopped the recall? No, Make It Rain goes wide. Bulldog actually sticks around, which very surprised by. But it's a 4v5, maybe they want it.
Bullet time's available. Photic's just waiting in the back line for the perfect time to pop it. In comes Sheer. Shui's ready, but Sobero on the flank. is going to be massive. Dominus
like
has already been popped. They are committing to Photic in the back line, and Photic goes down. Sobero's searching for some purpose here. Is finally going to commit out to Kroko, who goes invisible, still getting taken down by the Malphite. In comes the teleport from the recently deceased Renard, as he almost gets deceased again.
It's a triple kill for Wei.
Triple for Wei is wild. No lot of
damage and almost falling instantly, but for LNG, they don't have the ability to take out Wei. They don't have the ability to take out Sobero either. And with that, they can't walk up. The Atacon falls. I'm going to be honest here. This is looking disastrous for LNG.
It really is. I do not see how you actually manage to kill Wei, although
he's in a 1v3 right now.
Here, and he's out. Oh. He's out.
Yeah. And that's solar flare used. Sobero fancies it.
On the other hand, no unstoppable force, so W.
He's just whacking stuff and feeling good about it. He's 2 levels up over Kroko, who was the highlight that we'd pointed out to be the point for LNG. And you can see one quick combo takes Kroko to half HP. Wei still standing, 5 seconds on his ult.
And that ult's probably going to get used in this upcoming fight. Dragon is just spawned. Boom. It's such a juicy unstoppable force, but it only hits missing. Everybody else positioned just outside the range. Bulldog forced to back away as well. And Photic, if he can just not stand near walls, it's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. He's got flash. The Cassante can be peeled.
Yeah, and that's, well, that's Dragon, and that's probably Soul, unless Kroko can make his way in. You can see Jway looking to run anchor. LNG know they need to fight for this. If it's mounting Soul on a Malphite, that's even worse for them. So they're posturing their way in, and they've forced their way in here.
Wei's not got ult just yet, sticking near the Dragon for the smite. Everybody focusing Bulldog right now to get the threat off the backline. Huge bullet time keeps the rest of LNG at bay. And immediately we see 3 fall. A commit into the backline from 1XN, and his partner missing will go amiss. Renard picks up a double kill, and the Mountain Soul.
Trying to posture with Jway to try and make sure that nobody can get in. They spotted it, 6k, and Sobero's just killed Sheer on the side lane.
That's a Baron. Yeah. That's honestly whatever you want. Jway's going to go for the engage on missing. Solar Flare keeps the backline far away. Lets Leona live, but Sobero does not feel that way about Kroko. Flash on the Kiana. No jungler. No top laner. No Solar Flare. We're taking the Baron and God knows what else.
Yeah, maybe Missing's life. Can he get out? Buffer and Ecton W. Never mind. He's fine. Sobero finds the kill. The Baron falls for Invictus Gaming, and this is a case of dot those I's, cross those T's. IG have got Soul, they've got Baron, they've got Atacon, they have literally everything they could ever need. And hopefully with that they can take this game to its logical end here, which is an IG 2-0. And putting them on series point and just 1 game away from a spot in the Demacia Cup Finals. Again, dear. This is an organisation that is looking to rally behind a slightly suboptimal and you know, disappointing 2025. Maybe during 26 there'll be something different. Sobero caught on a recall here. Might win this.
Hitting the fist bump too.
He might
waiting
kill.
For the Alistair to come over. Huge shield on Sobero. I was not a believer, Rudude. You have turned me into one. Almost gets the kill on Bulldog. No Akali for this fight. Sobero is still alive. Gets another heal. And Renard just helps delete the Cassante. You know it's bad when Misfortune is chasing down Kiana. When everyone is chasing down Kiana. But it's become a bit of a for-fun game for IG right now, as they've got a 13,000 gold lead last I checked. Making about 12,000 right now, and plenty of space, time, gold to end this game and move themselves up to match point. Inhibitor going to be the focus right now, but IG should be moving on to game 3.
Yeah, they've got Baron at their backs here. This is just going to be a maybe a bit of a painful one, but should end the game anyway.
Not caring about the Shroud. Bulldog does get taken down. IG pad the stats with a little bit of damage. Photic no bullet time just yet, but insta-cleanse on the solar flare is just going to keep outputting damage. Slamming an Ezreal. 1xN going to fall. Missing will go down. The Nexus mercifully falls.
They're down 0-2. They need this comp to work, and they've gone full dive, full aggression to try and make it work.
How are we feeling about the Aatrox last pick?
Yeah, on Thunder Talk, which was an organization that definitely struggled, but he'll look to try and improve now. Obviously, that wave crashing out.
It's going to be big. As
yeah, he's just dead.
Low, jumped down by 1xN. Sometimes you just got a Valkyrie into him. Both missing flash, both missing teleport. These top laners will be excluded from any objective fight towards the bot side that seems to be continuing. Croco looks for the fight on Wei. Renard trying to get out to the mid lane to assist as Wei goes to be engaged on 1xN. Photic's focusing this down. Flashing away is 1xN. Wei hunting for this kill as Wei's getting run down on the other side. Recommits for the CC onto Croco as missing turns things around. 1 for 1, but it is absolutely IG who are coming out on top, missing low, and once again trying to disengage. IG have 1 kill and a lot of pressure around this dragon should they wish to take it.
Yeah, I think it's a bit risky to try and go for it just like this. You've just burned a lot of cooldowns, and really I think that IG are going to be looking to try and get those ultis online. Shui level 5, Wei very close actually with that Crab Dings level 6, and if you'd have had that in that fight, it would have been a complete wipe. But it's another death onto 1xN. It's another death for the LNG superstar that we're really hoping to see start to pop off in this game. And, you know, the answer to the Kaiser is this really powerful early game pick, as now Photic has no flash.
1xN not quite able to finish things off as the barrier comes through, and 1xN with
Shui also follows.
No flash gets flashed on. Could still go down here as the Rel one auto away from finishing him off, and Shui shuts down the AD carry. Photic comes back to finish off the wave and shove this into tower. It is all coming up IG.
And for 1xN there, that's unfortunately one of those blunders that, you know, we can't really excuse. It's just looking for a play. Sobro topside. Is he dead? No, Shia. He stopped to auto. Oh! He has the passive. He's fine. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. Sobro would have liked to have Wei on the way back, but
1xN missing, you know, any of these carries in the backline, you're going to have Galio ulti to protect.
To making it, but LNG setting up a trap for Sobro on the top side. Shear's going to flash right onto this. Sobro does get dragged back, commits the flash early, and at this point, Croco committing under tower could very well be a mistake. Is going to be pulled back in. Sobro tries to turn this around, and he does. LNG get a little too thirsty for Sobro. Nice collection of a wave down towards the bot side and collection of a Scuttle Crab incoming as Wei is constantly threatening on this Jarvan. Croco does try and re-engage. Sheer is here. Wei should be able to get out over the wall, but just gets CC'd a bit too far away from it to make it out.
Saves his
flash. Scuttle Crab and a kill.
And the kill does. Missing already has that Proto Belt finish, so Nico's full build, and we'll see whether or not Missing can find the engage. Dragon 3k HP.
Croco waiting for it, goes over the wall, and smites it away. LNG do steal the Hextech Dragon, and now IG seem to be on mixed pages. Some want to engage, some want to disengage. Wei wanting to engage gets caught up in the Pop Blossom of Missing. Does get assassinated by Photic. 1xN trying to finish off the kill on Renard, but Soboro and Photic seem unstoppable. The damage pouring out of these two is wild. Triple kill for Photic, and IG, they might not have gotten the dragon, but I don't mind.
But they got one hell of a fight, dear. That's 5-4-2. That's incredible stuff. They will be more than happy with that. This is a really ends. Quickly picks off Shia as well. There's just no focus from LNG. That recognition of we need to kill Photic, which they had in abundance in Game 1 and Game 2, is completely missing for this third.
It's a situation that normally looks a lot scarier. IG were split up. They didn't really have a clear way to engage with backline.
There, it looks like he's, you know, baiting them in, and that's exactly what it is. He knows that with that W landing onto the Vi, he can kill her instincts whenever he wants to because he's got those plasma stacks ready. So he just actually sits and waits, and now Croco in trouble again.
Fotic still has flash, does avoid the Pop Blossom for right now as Shui goes low. It's going to be Croco in answer to him. Bulldog falling quickly afterwards. 1xN trying to put in damage from range, but simply doesn't have it. And it is another triple for Fotic.
And you can see in these fights how confident Fotic feels.
It's got to feel pretty good for Fotic as well, considering that just last year he was playing for LNG, and now is set up against them in the Demacia Cup and continues to, I would say, push forward as a player, since we're talking about IG as a team of players that are all trying to do their best to immortalize themselves in the LPL. He's doing exactly that. Shui goes on the engage. Remember, we've got a shockwave waiting. Into the front line does go Sheer. Being peeled off. Out comes the Pop Blossom. Renard still saving the shockwave. Finally is going to use it to turn things around. Bulldog re-engaging with the heroic entrance, and this looks like IG have lost control of the fight. Wei still chasing one down, 2 for 2. Sheer can't finish off Renard, but is coming back to help with Wei, as he should be the next to fall. Bulldog sets it up and claims the kill, and somehow LNG claw this fight back.
This is why we B1 Media. They had the perfect engage to this. Shui threw his life away. They killed the backline with no real problem. And it was still only a 4 for 3. They're going to need to find great success again.
Fighting again. Instant engage. This time an instant deletion on missing. LNG, they roll the dice once, they come up a winner, but they make the mistake of rolling the dice again and giving another triple kill to Fotic.
And that's just not what you need if you're LNG. The second you find just the smallest avenue back into the game, it's shades of game number 1, only the stakes this time are far, far higher. They lose this game and they are out of the Demacia Cup. They lose out on a big play on the mid lane. They try to herald in, using a little bit of that momentum almost to swing in their favour. Just didn't quite make it work, and Fotic once again able to come up, sweeps a 3-kill piece out of his back pocket. And let's talk about this for IG for just a second. Again, an organisation that in 2025 was disappointed with their results. They dropped some of their, bigger ticket players. They've still got a couple on the roster, but not nearly looking to make it as almost as deep a run as we might have expected them to through 2025. This roster of, academy players, of people who have, struggled a little bit through the LPL last year in Fotic and Shui. Look at that as Bulldog just dying off screen here. Fotic no ulti, snipes him out anyway. But a bunch of players that people weren't particularly expecting great things from on this IG roster are now on their way to 3-0ing their way through the semi-finals of the Demacia Cup against an LNG team that's much easier said than done. We've now reached that stasis being available for Fotic. He's got that stasis in his inventory, and I think Shui here just kind of baiting them in a little bit. Doesn't take any damage from that. And Sheer caught out now.
Thinking that the fight was going to happen, now has a fight happening on top of him. He will get deleted. Not even a res going to come in after that. Wayne knows that his team, large in charge, is ready to win. Missing does manage to walk things out, but LNG are pushed out of their own jungle. As much as they survive, you gotta watch Sheer go down and lose complete control of every objective on the map. Not just the Dragon, not just the Baron. Their own red buff is untouchable to them.
Yeah, and Renard here still with that shockwave ready. You can see just posturing, feeling very happy that he can really zone out the rest of LNG. I will quickly highlight that we do need to keep our eye on Bulldog in these team fights. He did almost one-shot Fotic on the backside of that. Yes, Fotic still had flash and barrier available, but he could have got caught off guard by the CC chain that is open to the Galio. So it's not all completely Jova just yet for LNG, though it is looking very much like it, as Shui now finds Croco and Fotic not too far away.
Fotic, unfortunately, no ult to finish that off, but Renard's got his back.
Around a place on the map that he should not be, and actually that ends up losing out another massive neutral objective for LNG, one that they really ought to not have lost so frugally. And now Bulldog down on that bot side. Yeah, he can maybe one-shot a Kai'Sa, but an Aatrox is an entirely different beast.
Yeah. Ooh, Pop Blossom, though. Nice little pick. That does get rid of one Baron, and everything counts, especially when IG are trying to walk into your base.
Well, yeah, exactly. You'll take whatever you can get here, and I mean, Sobro there, he knows that this game is pretty much done. Their ticket to the Demacia Cup Grand Finals is pretty much delivered here, so he's just having a little bit of fun flexing on and down on that bot side. Now it's the time for LNG to try and make the Hail Mary play. 5 versus 4, what can you do?
Missing no Pop Blossom here. Heroic Entrance not going to connect. And we're watching Photic, who in the backline just plays safe. Out goes the Cataclysm. Jarvan gets popped into GA. Bulldog positioning on the front lines. Killer Instinct in for Photic. And he is 1v2ing in the backside. Assassination onto the head, onto Corki. This is all coming up Photic as he gets slammed by Bulldog for the kill. It is a triple kill, this time for Renard. But importantly, it is an ace for Invictus Gaming. Will take on these Nexus Towers, who will take out this series and move themselves one step closer to immortality in the Demacia Cup and the LPL.
A 3-0, a 15,000